right, it's some 32 minutes after 6. We're doing the headlines, but the only paper that we got is the Weekend Sun. That's the newspaper that we have. We're wondering what's happening to the Daily Graphic, the Times, the Daily Guide, the Chronicle, all those papers. What are they holidaying?
I think
but
so.
usually we'll get something on a holiday.
I think we should have.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
myself, okay. The Weekend Sun. Ghana 58. I think that's all there is really. Eminent citizens give verdicts. How Nkrumah defeated FIFA. Water wahala may kill 20,000 kids. Back page. Killed at noon. How a reckless government driver crashed this rising star hill.
Oh.
Late Silas is called. 22-year-old. Very.
Can you read a bit of the story? Because
but you know. The paper. It starts with some prose. Like most mortals of his generation, he had high hopes about life. That's the beginning of the story.
Oh, okay.
He dreamed dreams too.
Okay, this
should have been. He dreamt dreams.
I beg
too.
this one day. Stop reading.
I bet you should be reading.
No,
Dream
it's
of
okay.
being the best.
It's okay. Usually you get the story itself in the first paragraph or so. But so it's telling the story of the young man.
Yeah, I think they're trying to embellish it a bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to myjoyonline.com. We're doing the online review now, and a headline reads: Education Health Ministries used projects money to pay salaries, according to an Imani report. A bit of that says a research conducted by policy think tank Imani Ghana has revealed that most of the budgetary allocations to the education and health ministries for projects were rather used in paying salaries and emoluments of workers. The research, which covers the budget from 2009 to 2013, concluded that this accounted for most of the projects that have stalled. You can continue to read. Story goes on and on and on myjoyonline.com. Let's see if I can pull. There was this story I heard yesterday. And I was just, I didn't know what to think. Ambassadors, heads of foreign missions indicted for embezzlement in Auditor General's reports. Some Ghanaian ambassadors and heads of missions abroad have been indicted in the 2013 Auditor General's report, which lists a litany of cases involving embezzlement, misappropriation, and causing financial losses or loss. The heads involved specifically relate to those in Germany, Iran, Israel, and Zambia. So according to Section 4 of the Financial Guidelines for the Operations of Ghana, Honorary Consulate, all consular fees received should be paid monthly into a special account. But in the Warsaw Consulate, some 23,295 in euros in consular fees collected between 2009 to January 2010 could not be accounted for. An amount of 13,362.44 euros in refundable rent deposits, which should have been refunded by two landlords, has gone unpaid since April 2012. And I've just been thinking, when the Auditor General's report came out and then we read and we're the startling revelations and we open our mouths and we're like, is this happening in our country? What happens? Do we get the monies back?
Not really.
So
the point is that at the end of the recommendations in the Auditor General's report is submitted to the Attorney General's office or department. And at the end of the day, it's all about discretion and commitments.
Yeah. The
point is that even these we're talking about is 2013. So many of the issues have been reported ideally in the media. We've had GIDA and all that, and even the various over expenditures in the various MDAs, etc.
Yeah.
So if we can have the Auditor General, perhaps bringing in some of these reports early on, perhaps by close of the half year, after 2 quarters, we have all these put together. Then within the same year, we can deal with the previous years, because it means next year in 2016, that's when we're going to deal with 2014. So
yeah,
and that time,
amazing.
Some may have even gone on pension.
Yeah.
Or especially if they're political people, may have been out of government.
Yeah.
and
isn't that this rule that after 6 years or something, there's something that you can't take the monies back or something. I think this is one issue that we can sit down and talk about in detail. Still on myjoyonline.com, mother of gunned amputee demands compensation. The story's been running in the Chronicle for a while now. I think they started from the beginning, but now we're getting two sides of the story, because the mother of the deceased has her version. The police also have their version. But the gentleman is the same. So two stories. We cannot tell whose story is the original story or is the better story. But what it is that there's somebody who's dead in this picture. Now the mother is asking for compensation because apparently the deceased has a child or children, and she's wondering how she can take care of them. But this, I'm sure, will be settled perhaps in the courts pretty shortly. What do you have?
I have a story about the Peace Council setting a March deadline to resolve the current religious impasse in the education sector, especially in senior high schools. And the National Peace Council is giving itself up to the end of March, by which time it hopes to bring closure to the simmering tension over claims by Muslim groups that their students are being forced to observe the Christian faith in schools. And the Muslim caucus in Parliament, as well as the Muslim leadership in Ghana, they've all approached the council to find a resolution to the raging issue, as it appears that the Catholic Bishops' Conference, and we know we hosted a member of the Catholic Church, a member of the clergy, the Christian Council have taken an interim position on the subject. So the president has had cause to issue a stern warning, which also have been criticized in the media, to school heads and institutions that infringe on the religious rights of students to stop doing so or face sanctions. We hope that we can have an amicable resolution to this very subject.
Okay, let me go to CTFM online to get you what leading stories they have on the website. Okay, so I had this yesterday, but I'll come to that. Let's see what Rashid Pelpo, the Minister for Public-Private Partnership, been talking about. Says Ghanaians are being unfair to Mahama. Also, blame lazy Attorney General, not EC lawyer. That's what Afenyo Markin, who's a lawyer of the fisherman in the central region, who took the EC to court, for which reason the district assembly elections could not come off on the 3rd of March. He's saying that we should blame the Attorney General. Yeah, okay. But this is a story that perhaps shocked a lot of people. No, it wasn't shocking. It was surprising. What's the difference between shocking and surprising?
Shocking. I think it's almost the same.
Okay, all right. And
but were you surprised
it's
about
entertainment. Yeah, I was a bit.
Oh, I think we all could see it was coming.
I think I was.
I was not. I knew that one of the days they would fall off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the story we're talking about is Rebecca Champong and her famous manager Kiki Bansing. They're not together anymore. They're not together anymore. A lot of rumors. Remember, within their 10-year relationship as manager and artist. Yes, they've been together for 10 years.
Beautiful.
A lot of speculations as to, are they in a relationship? Are they in a relationship? You know, that kind of thing. Came back and forth, and blah 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 blah. Well, now they say they've gone their separate ways.
I'm sure Saturday, just tomorrow, we'll discuss this. No, Sunday. No, Saturday, yeah, we'll discuss it from 2 p.m. on Entertainment Review on Joy FM. Please join her and her team.
Okay, so let's see.
I'll be on the show as well, so please try and listen to me.
Okay, but there's something contradictory here. It says Meteo Service predicts another Independence Day downpour. This is on City FM online.
We went there. They said don't be raining.
Yeah, so okay, so we'll see. I mean, the day is here. We don't have to wait for long. In the next maybe 3 or 4 hours, we'll see.
We need this rain, God. Don't let it before the president again, getting wet. After all,
What's wrong with that?
after all the difficulty he's had for the year. Doom so, you know, challenges. Well, so those are a review of what the various news portals have for you for the morning. So please make sure you log on to all the pages, especially on our social media page. Join News on TV is our page on Facebook, and also our Join News on TV, our handle on Twitter.
Stay with us. We've got spots coming your way. It's the holiday spots.